Okay, there we go. Great. All right, that's off the screen. If it lets me get it off the screen. I guess I can't get it off the screen entirely. You know when that happens. There we go. All right, welcome to Christ-Centered Gamers game stream of the Atari 50th anniversary celebration. So I'm really excited for this game. I may have mentioned this in streams in the past, but the Atari 2600 was my very first video game console. I was 3 or 4 years old when I played it the first time. And in many ways, playing that kind of changed the course of my life. Because now, well, as you can see, we have a ministry of video games. So Atari means a lot to me, even if it's not where I spent most of my gaming life. In the early days, that's all I had, and I certainly played quite many hours of combat and air sea battle and other games that aren't in this collection, like River Raid and um, Space Invaders. But yeah, so the Atari 2600 meant a lot to my early years, and yeah, thanks for the good wishes, AJ Collins. Appreciate that. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, the 50th anniversary celebration, because I am old enough to have played it back in the day. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, so let's get started. So this is a really neat collection that I've seen so far. I haven't played any of it because I wanted to save all of this for this stream. I didn't want to get spoiled on it and be like, oh yeah, I've already been through all this. Yeah, it's cool. No, I didn't do that. So here's all of the different eras that we get to explore together. Also, there's some options menu. Now, one thing I'm disappointed with, this is the maximum resolution. I know most people don't care, but I have a 4K monitor and I like to be able to use that, but it doesn't give me that choice. And also, some people like to see options menus, so there you go. You've seen it. Another thing is, here's a game library. Now, this is really cool. They have reimagined games, 7 of them, I believe. And then they have arcade titles, including some unreleased prototypes, which is really neat. I haven't actually played any of these yet. I tested Asteroids to make sure it worked, and that's it. So there's a lot I have not touched yet. I only played this for about 10 minutes just to make sure it works pre the stream. I've not actually played anything really, other than, like I said, a minute of Asteroids. So here we've got the 2600 with its many games, including some, oh, look at that, unreleased prototypes. Pretty cool. And it also has a very good selection from what I've seen so far of classics. Now I haven't played all of them. Like, I never played Demons to Diamonds as far as I recall. But it seems to have a very interesting selection and some games I never did get to play when I was young. So that's always exciting. And other than that, they also got the 5200 represented in here. I played a 5200 once, one evening at a hospital. The story's kind of sad. My sister wasn't doing well, and she ended up passing away. But the hospital, the children's hospital she was staying at, had an Atari 5200, so I got to play a handful of games there. So that was my only experience with the 5200, but unfortunately quite memorable. And then the 7800, which my wife had when she was growing up. I never had one, but she did. So there's a handful of 7800 games represented here. I don't know which games she had or if any of these are them, but Pole Position or Rampage, not any of these. Those are licensed games. All right. The Atari Lynx. I remember playing an Atari Lynx in the store when it was brand new because I had a Game Boy, so I saw it. I saw the demo unit at a mall, and I played it, and the thing was huge. It's almost as big as a Steam Deck is today, with a tiny screen in the middle, like little 3 or 4 inch LCD. It's a really 3 inch LCD, maybe 2.5 even. It's a really remarkable system. The funny thing, its claim to fame was it was ambidextrous. You could flip it over and play it right-handed or left-handed. That's how they justified all that space that it took up. It was an interesting system. But outside of that one day of playing it, I never really played many of those games. So that'll be interesting. And this is the Atari 800. Now, I never had an Atari 800. One of my best friends growing up, they had an Atari 800. Now, I never got to play it, but they had a lot of good things. They had a lot of good things to say about it. So it'll be interesting to see what these Atari 800 games are like. 2007. Looks like somebody made a newer game for that ancient system. How neat. And of course, last but most certainly not least, oh, cool, Jarvis, thanks for joining. Um, most certainly not least was, oh, when you say you had one, did you mean the Lynx or the 800? I'd appreciate if you could clarify that for us. This is the Atari Jaguar. I remember when all the ads were on TV. Oh, Atari 800, very cool. I remember when all the ads were on TV, and this was the big deal. The ads were epic, and it actually looked really neat, like physically, like it was an unusual system the way it looked in person. Pretty neat. I never had a Jaguar. I don't know anybody who did, but it has a cult following. So the fact they included so many Jaguar games in here is really neat. And these will be games I've never played because very few people did. So that's really, really cool. All right, so that's what the games library is like. And then these, well, this is what the meat of this Atari 50th anniversary celebration is all about, is learning the history of Atari. So let's explore the beginnings together. The arcade origins. Oh, neat. Okay. So, in the beginning, in a world where pinball was king, two engineers dreamed of the coin operating games playing on computers made the next big thing. Somebody called Syzygy was where it all started. That's funny, Syzygy. Okay, so there's nothing to do here, so I can just move over one. Computer Space, the first arcade game. Computer Space, designed by Atari co-founders Ted Dabney and Nolan Bushnell. It was manufactured by Daddy Associates based on the Computer Space War. Neat. So I can zoom in. All right. So then we've got Computer Space. Very cool. 1966 Space War. I believe that was for like ancient, well, mini computers. They were very large. So that's really cool. Oh, is there something to do in here? No, it's just a picture. Okay, it's an image. You can pan the image with the joystick. Hide the captions if you want to just see it. Hide controls if you want to hide that. Zoom in and out with this. Oh, how neat. Rotate left and right. Nice. All right. Can I do anything with the mouse? I don't know. Maybe. Probably also control with the mouse and keyboard if I really wanted to. Yep, keyboard works. All right. So, oh, there's a video. All right, neat. So, Computer Space, play video. A 2004 Atari employee saw a newspaper for an ad for Computer Space machine in a Quonset hut in Sunflower Season, California. The first Computer Space machine ever manufactured. Oh, wow. Let's check this out.
For some reason, I'm looking through the San Jose Mercury in the just random stuff section for sale. And I see world's first video game, Computer Space. No price, just call.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I'm pretty interested in this. So I called the guy. I said, so you got a Computer Space? Yeah. He goes, yeah. First game ever. Okay, great. What color is it? And he goes, well, what color do you want? I'm like, wow, this is getting very interesting because who has a whole bunch of Computer Spaces and who would know that they came in all these different colors? He goes, I got a yellow, a solid blue, metal flake blue, and metal flake red. And he goes, a whole bunch of other games too. Okay, great. Want to come up and see them. These were in a Quonset hut on a sunflower seed farm off of Highway 80 in Dixon, California, halfway between, the Bay Area and Sacramento. And these things hadn't been moved in, probably since 1975. And so
Wow.
I got in touch with Nolan and showed him the pictures and scratched his head, and then like a light bulb went off in his head. He goes, these were Ted Dabney's. These were Ted Dabney's units. This was his route. When he left, he took a route that we had, and he goes, this yellow one's the first one. He goes, I know it. That yellow one is the very first one.
Wow.
I kept the first one, which is a beautiful yellow Computer Space, and I kept Pong number 46. And we got the rest of them running and working as good as we could. We got it all for $5,000. I don't regret the purchase one bit. Not for a minute.
Wow. That's neat. That is so cool. All right, all Al Acorn's business card. Dabney and Bushnell named their company Syzygy Engineering after the term direct alignment of the sun, the moon, and the earth during an eclipse. Oh, how neat. Al Acorn, who had worked with Dabney. Wow. You know, this really is a love. Like, this is all about the love of the old days. This is so cool. All right. Incorporated their company in the state of California, but the name of the system was already taken. Instead, they chose Atari, term from Japanese game of Go. We briefly do this under Syzygy's name. Okay, that makes sense. And we got another video. Oh, how neat. Oh, wow, okay.
Well, I'd say 30 years to pretty much the present. The arcades have been relegated to the back rooms and the side streets, and generally been an unsavory type of place. What we want to do is bring the amusement game to age. If we can give it a new zip and a pizzazz, it's going to be financially successful, as well as, I think, a very serious part in the leisure time activity of the American people.
The marriage of traditional pinball machines and computer technology has resulted in the birth of a new breed of amusement games. And Nolan Bushnell is the man handing out the cigars. Bushnell has developed two such games, Computer Space and Pong, and believes that they and others like them will move the pinball industry out of America's bus stations and bowling alleys and into the space age. In 1971, Bushnell invented Computer Space, but sold production rights to Nutting Associates of Mountain View, California, for royalties based on the number of games sold. It proved a good deal for both parties. Sales already exceed 1,500 machines. Computer Space, like Pong, sells for around $1,000 and is played on the screen of a standard television set, which has been programmed to display the desired game. In Computer Space, the player controls a rocket ship, which is trying to shoot down enemy flying saucers while avoiding their missiles.
Oh, neat.
If the player scores more hits than the enemy saucers, he gets one free play. By the time Bushnell invented Pong in 1972, he was able to form his own company, Syzygy Corporation in Santa Clara, California, to produce the game. He has already sold over 1,000 machines and expects to sell 10,000 in the United States by the end of the year. Pong, as the name might indicate, is a game of video ping pong. The two players turn dials which control their electronic paddles and volley with an equally electronic ball.
How neat.
The first player to score 15 points wins. While Bushnell did design and program both his games, the technology he uses dates back to the late 1950s. Thanks to research by the Defense Department in the wake of Sputnik, Bushnell is now able to act out his dream of a nation inhabited by thousands of Pong and Computer Space games.
Oh my goodness.
Millions of dollars on this technology. And as a result, now it's cheap enough that we can put it into a game and sell it for 25 cents for a few minutes and make $1 out of it. It's something that the research and development really was done.
I had Pong on the
years ago.
2600 with the
Now
Pong
it's
controllers.
cheap enough that,
It's great.
With PC boards and integrated circuits, we can use that technology to our advantage.
The basic electronic unit of Bushnell's games is the integrated circuit. Each of these small chips is capable of storing large amounts of information. The program for a game is determined by specific combinations of these units to form a PC, or printed circuit board. The printed circuit board then tells the TV screen what to do. A single printed circuit board is all that is required to operate Pong, whereas 15 years ago it would have taken enough tubes and wiring to fill an average house. Bushnell first saw the commercial potential of video games in a game called Space War, which has been played at computer centers around the country for several years.
We used to play Space War a lot at the AI project at Stanford, which is a big computer complex. And one day it just hit, this is a lot of fun. You ought to be able to package it and sell it for a price. And, one thing leads to another, and pretty soon, from doodling on a scratch pad, you're actually working out some basic block diagrams, and from there you think, boy, it's going to work.
Wow, that is really cool. Create a fully funded commercial game out there. It was designed for the masses and accessible to the masses. Defender was a great game too. They kickstarted Silicon Valley. Oh, that's interesting. Think of In Sunnyvale is a result of Atari. Use some creativity to open this. That wasn't coming back in the 70s and 80s. The Atari pioneered that. That is really cool. I never really considered that. That Atari was in a large way the beginning of Silicon Valley. How neat. All right, Pong. Yes, Pong was a classic. There was no question. Oh, and we can play it right from the arcade. Is that what this means? Yeah. All right. Play game. Why not? Let's play some Pong. Okay. Now, does it let me use the mouse? That's the question I have to ask. It does let me use the mouse. Okay, I'm terrible at it on the mouse. Okay. This is fun. Oh, it's 2 players. That's right. Pong was a 2-player game. So I have to use the second. Okay, I can play both on the same controller, which is cute. So I'm playing against myself in a real sense. And I just missed it. That's too funny. Okay. Okay, well that's cool. All right. Now I don't think I'm going to continue to play this right now. But that's cool that they have Pong in a very authentic environment. Like it's even in its arcade shell. Like I love this. This is really authentic. Man, is this neat. Okay. Like they really went to a lot of effort to make this look as authentic. Yeah, see screen mode original or full. Filter TV or off, so they make it look like a CRT. Turn on or off the borders. This is a very authentic feeling experience. This is neat. All right. The birth of Pong. So we got videos about the birth of Pong, line as well.
You know what the Atari motto is? Innovative leisure, right? Well, it didn't say innovative arcade games. It didn't say innovative video games. It said innovative leisure. It was broad from day one. I mean, Nolan always had a consumer game in his mind because that's what he hired me to do. And I wound up doing the wrong thing and making a hit coin-op game, right? When I was at Ampex, I learned how to make sync generators, synchronizing, the basic fundamental circuit necessary to get a TV signal, because we had to generate an analog signal. So you do that, and you get the ball at one speed, and you put paddles up, and it's a very, very boring game. And so I added the speed up, and I added the angles off of that, just, you know, to make it playable, interesting. And so it started getting a little interesting. That's cute. And Nolan said, well, it's got to have score. We had a pretty good game, and hey, great. So what are you going to do for sound? I go, sound? I'm already over budget. What am I going to do? Nolan said, well, I want the sound of a roar of a crowd of thousands applauding your win. And Ted said, I want boos and hisses. And I'm thinking, how do I do that? Listen, I got video. I got the goddamn game up. Now you wanted me to do this. I'll be right back. So I pissed around for a day and poked around. Sounds had already existed in the vertical sync generator. Gated them out with the 555 timer. I love it. Years later, the sound is so well thought out, so appropriate. It was like, are you kidding me? It was just, you know, just thrown together in spite of what the boss said. And so that was how Pong came to be.
That's neat. The newest 2-player video skill game. 25 cents per play. Everything was 25 cents for so many years. The Atari name and Fuji logo. Neat. Suzuki engineered. Huh. Neat. Yeah, there's that logo. Yep. How neat is that? Neat. Pong doubles. Well, machines targeted to improve on the experience. Pong doubles lets 4 players get in the fun. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. 4 knobs. You could play doubles Pong. That is actually really cool. I wish I could actually play that. I don't know if they let you. The most installed in bars and those successful children. They developed Puppy Pong, a device meant to be installed in the waiting rooms of pediatric offices. That's funny. You did not catch on, and Puck Pong had only a small production run. How neat is that? Pong for pediatric offices. Oh my. Wow. That is Oh wow, that's an actual physical picture of one. That is so cute. Wow. Alright, this is legitimately cool, guys. Alright. The Legend of the Broken Pong Machine. Alright, let's see what this is like. Legend of the Broken Pong.
So everybody's heard the Pong story. Probably everybody's heard the Pong story, but I've heard it many times, and from Al Alcorn himself, who designed Pong. So,
the story I've heard is that they installed one of the first Pong machines in a tavern and let people play it as a test.
Put it out into an arcade and see if it makes money. I mean, that's the market research.
My understanding was Ted built a cabinet, a tabletop, simple cabinet over the weekend. And a coin mech bolted to the side of the cabinet, tabletop type of big thing was sit on a barrel.
Placing a interactive video machine somewhere and having people play it was still a relatively new concept. Nobody knew if it was going to go.
Oh, what is the name of the bar in Palo Alto?
San Jose?
No, it was Andy Caps.
It was Santa Clara?
Sunnyvale.
So we'll put it in Andy Caps. You know, it's a coin op game, be it fragile and humble, and so we did.
Well, my memory is that he gets a phone call, the game's busted, which of course is the usual thing you get on a support line. It doesn't work. What is it, and in what way does it not work? Well, it doesn't work.
The bar owner or manager at the time kind of yelled at them and like accused them of their game being shoddy because it had already broken down and it was no longer functioning or working.
And they get a call, you know, later on that night and like, hey, this fucking thing broke, you know. Come and pick up this piece of shit game and get it out of here. You know, this fucking thing broke. You know, I'm not gonna waste my time fixing this crap.
But anyway, the machine, we got the word that it stopped working, and I figured it could be anything, and I'd go out there and take a look at it. And so I went to the machine, and the first thing you do is you want to try to play the game, because the machine was on in a tracked mode, so it was working, but you couldn't start a game. So you open up the coin box to basically flip the micro switch to give yourself a free game, because I'm not going to waste a quarter, you know.
And so they went down to see what's wrong with the machine to fix it, and what they found out was that it wasn't broken, it was just that so many people had played it, they'd filled the coin box with quarters, and it was jammed, and it couldn't take any more.
So many people had played it that it couldn't accept any more money.
The game is broken because it's stuffed so full of quarters.
Completely stuffed with quarters.
And it was a small, I remember it was kind of small, if I remember, it was a small space. It just filled up with the quarters and it wouldn't take it.
When I opened up the coin mech, you know, all these quarters just gushed out. So, whoa, that's impressive.
It's the equivalent of like crashing a server when you launch a new website and it's so popular. So they crashed the server on Pong.
And one of the other reasons it was also so popular is because you could play it with one hand while you're still holding a pint in your other hand. And that also was one of those things that, you know, eventually many, many years later led to the rise of the fun barcades that we have, you know, and we can enjoy now.
as Al will always say with a little, you know, twinkle in his eye, he goes, "This is a problem I can fix."
Basically, the way it worked was you take the money, the deal you have, and you split the take with the owner of the bar. And so I did that, and I had this sack of quarters, and the next day I come into work and I said, I got the machine fixed, and here's the problem. Goddamn thing's making too much money. And really?
But it was one of those great moments where something that supposedly was failing was actually such a huge success that no one could recognize. It was truly the ugly duckling version of technology.
Because remember, Nolan thought, he was like, this is just a placeholder until we get to design the really good game, because who's going to play this stupid shit-ass game?
They went on to produce all of these classic, memorable arcade titles for years that allowed the company to survive and be so much more than a one-hit wonder. So that's my understanding of the history of Pong.
It's a great story if it's true.
When a story is good, you know there's some doubt about it. Like, well, that's too good to be really true. It's probably a boring version of it that's actually true.
You know, it sounds realistic to me. You know, I mean, I've kind of seen that happen in my own. And when you do get a really great game, the coins will just overflow, and
you know, it's kind of a cool feeling.
Anyway, that's how that all happened. Yeah. Anyway.
Cute. That's cute. Well, you know what? I think this is a great place to switch eras. So we went through this much of the arcade, went through Pong. There's so much more to look at. Space Race, Home Pong, Breakout. Wow. And then we've got Birth of a Console. The Hardcade Comes Home. So this is in 1977. I'm curious about arcade origins. How far did we get? But how far does this go? Does it go? Okay, it does go past 77 into the 80s. Okay. And then Birth of the Console. Let's see what we got here. I don't want to spend too much time on all one thing, and you don't get to see a variety of things. So let's go look a little bit at. Let's see how the Atari 2600 started. Over 90% of Americans have at least one computer, and they have changed our lives forever. For millions, the first computer in their home was the Atari Video Computer System, the VCS. Dedicated consoles. In addition to a home version of Pong, Atari released dedicated consoles that played versions of the video pinball and stunt cycle arcade games, but close were quickly catching up. The company needed a product that was more than just one game if you wanted a permanent spot. The great and mighty Atari 2600. I had one of these. Actually, two. Later known as 2600. Okay. It was a part of the new wave of video game consoles which had no games built in but stored on separate ROM cartridges. Technological superiority didn't come cheap. The VCS launched at $199, or about $9.50 in 2022 dollars. Oh, hey, Leonard. Thanks for joining. So yes, this was indeed the 2600, or video computer system. I had one. So many good memories. So many good memories. All right, let's see what we got here today. What's a VCS? Play video. For those who've never seen one, this looks like it might be a great intro.
On the simplest level, what the VCS, the Atari 2600, what that is, it's a combination of plastic and computer chips that enables you to play a video game, an interactive video game on your home television, which is something that never really happened before.
If you're making an arcade game, it begins as a hardware project. If you need something more in the hardware, just put it in the hardware and you can use it in your game. The Atari 2600, we didn't have that luxury. The game was already in Grandma's house. It was already hooked up to her TV. And all we could do is make a different cartridge, sell that to the person, he plugs it in.
It was the thing that made video games a worldwide phenomenon. And all it is it's a box that enables you to play an interactive game on your TV. But on a cultural level, that's such a huge thing to do because there were two things that achieved that changed the world, literally changed the world. One is it put computers in homes. At a time where IBM only had about 10,000 PCs sold altogether, Atari had millions of units installed. And every one of those was a computer in the home. The other thing it did was it created an interactive medium with television, which was always a passive medium. Before video games, people were just zombies sitting on the couch watching TV. But video games turned people into zombies jumping up and down on the couch yelling at the TV. And that was a very different experience. And I think that was huge in terms of taking people from a passive state to an active state. And we're still learning the implications of that.
Yep, that was huge. And that was the joystick that would break. Single button, 4-way joystick. It was so easy to break. But at the same time, they survived probably longer than they should have. But they were. It was cool. The paddle controller was great. I love this thing. What's that?
The 7800 controller was worse.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I know. But the paddle controller was neat. This is something that, to this day, is still hard to emulate. This does not emulate a paddle. This gets closer, but it still doesn't emulate a paddle. The paddle controller is so cool. And, oh yeah, $35, yeah. Good point, Leonard. Yeah, but the paddle controller is so cool. I wish there was equivalent, modern equivalent. There is actually, but not enough things use it. All right, let's see. Oh, combat. We can play combat. This game I played a ton of combat. Let's play it. This is the game that came with the system. It was packed in with every VCS. Very simple game, but it was fun. It had game modes, that's right. Tank, guided missiles, own playfield. Okay. Yeah, and literally you just... Your goal was to shoot the other guy. That's it. And you'd have 2 players, because there was no real AI, right? So, I'm trying to figure out how to control the second player. Oh, I just changed the game mode. Huh, nice. See all these different game modes? I'm trying to figure out how to control it. I must need an actual controller. But yeah, that's combat. I mean, it's you just go around. You're both trying to shoot each other and get points. You're not actually killing anything. And, you go around. Can the other controller be part of the keyboard? I don't know. No, I have to look into it. But yeah. And you can see that thing will block my shots, so... Whoa. And it's got tank-like controls, pun intended, and you just, boom, now I gained a point. And that's it, folks. Oh, here's the controls. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Fire weapon. Select for different modes. Oh, yeah, okay. Select game variation. Oh, okay, that's neat. All the different modes, yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of different kinds. And... Oh yeah, invisible. That's right. This combat, you can only see each other. It's got bouncy balls, so they bounce off the walls. And you're invisible when you're not shooting. I forgot all about this. And I got him. See that? Man, that brings back memories. Oh, I totally forgot about that. All right. Well, that's combat for you. All right. It was it was honestly a lot of fun. The original box, packaged in a gatefold style box to be opened like a book, revealing slots for the game cartridge and manual. This quick, convenient, more expensive containers like gave way to the more standard box, which was sealed shut with glue and dust off destroyed when opened. That is neat. I didn't know that. My parents did not. They didn't buy original games. Usually, they bought garage sales. When I was at that age where the Atari was no longer new, so we very rarely got games new. So I don't know if we had very many original game boxes, and they weren't really good at preserving that kind of stuff because I was young and nobody cared. So pretty interesting. I mean, who would know at the time that there'd be a cottage industry and a massive collectibles of original game boxes? We didn't know that back in '82. Nobody thought about those things. So yeah, this is neat. But games back in these days, in these original days, were coded purely in machine language. It's just 2 kilobytes of data. So the combo is a very small program made of just 2 kilobytes. That's the entire program. That's combat. The whole thing. Just the image shown here, which contains the entire combat program in machine code, is more than 500 kilobytes. The image that we are looking at is more code than the entirety of combat. That is amazing. Most people who are not old do not really understand truly how efficiently programs were made back then. It's really neat. Air Sea Battle is another classic, one of the first batch of games. Almost everybody I know, and certainly us, had Air Sea Battle. Did you have Air Sea Battle? Air Sea Battle. No, never had Air Sea Battle. We can play it. Show you what it's like. Basically,
Yeah, now okay, that I recognize.
yeah. See, told you had Air Sea Battle.
Okay, the box.
Everybody had Air Sea Battle. No, yeah, your goal is to shoot things out of the sky. I got one. Got another one. And you're competing for a high score. And here's the helicopters. Man, these sound effects are just like perfect. So many memories. Oh, there's a helicopter. Helicopters are harder to hit than. There we go. Oh, and the fast airplanes. Ah, yes, the fast kind. They go at the same speed as your bullets. They're a little harder to... You got to get the timing right to get those. Man, I'm trying to cheat. Oh, this is really remarkable. Oh, I got one! There it is. Got it. Now what's the next round? Even more of the fast airplanes. Okay. I think you get the point. This is not the 16-bit era, Leonard. This is the 4-bit era. And yeah, 4 bits. 16-bit was great, but yeah, this is... Even at that point, you're talking about higher level languages and, you know, compilers. This is machine code, pure machine code. So that was Air Sea Battle. Here's Surround, and I don't know if I ever played Surround. I don't know if I did. They're saying it's also called Snake, so maybe it is the game I'm thinking of. Oh, Snake! This is Snake. Yep, this is it. The one where you try to get around the other guy and they control their side and yeah, this is it. Classic. Alright. I don't think I played that though. I don't think I had that game. But it is a classic. Here's the cover art. Neat. From arcade to home. These sisters are a popular arcade game, give you a big hit. Code apple game to lower powered home machine. Actually, MS-DOS was 8-bit at first. Atari was 4 bits. MS-DOS. So the original 8086, 8088 CPUs were 8-bit. The 286 was 16. And then that's when DOS, newer versions of DOS, I think from 4 and up, supported that. I think 3.3 was the last version you could run on an 8-bit XT. So MS-DOS was 16-bit later on, but not right away, not at first. All right, to answer your question, Leonard, or to correct you a little bit, sorry. Okay, so here, let's see what this is all about. Arcade to home.
The entire reason that Atari created the Atari 2600 home console was to put their arcade hits into the home. If we can sell home versions of our arcade hit games into the home, we can sell millions of them instead of just take quarters from the thousands of people who go to arcades. And so the hardware was designed to make it possible to play Tank and Pong. That's about all that they did in the hardware.
So the distinction is this. CoinUp gets to use more expensive hardware. They get to use tons and tons of hardware, and they get to refresh their hardware all the time.
I had played an Outlaw-like game in the arcade. I think it was Midway. And you know, I was just told to make a game, so I said, well, here's an idea, 2 guys shooting at each other. And so I made that game. My goal is to try to make it like the arcade game. So I could look at the arcade game and say, this is what it has to do. So there really wasn't any need for me to have communication with the arcade guys. I'm particularly proud of the Atari 2600 Canyon Bomber because it also has the Atari arcade game Depth Charge in it. So it turns out that in a 2K byte Atari 2600 cartridge, I simulated both Canyon Bomber and Depth Charge, which were probably $3,000 arcade game hardware.
When I was young, when I was little, I remember there was this drugstore, and in their comic book rack, they had these abridged versions of great literature. You'd read it, and it was the whole story of Treasure Island. War and Peace, a comic book. But that whole notion of an abridged version, that is what was going to happen.
When I did Donkey Kong, I had,
Oh, nice.
not surprisingly, absolutely no contact with Nintendo. Coleco was able to get me a machine. So I had a machine that I could play and look at, and I had already played the game. And like David said, with Canyon Bomber, the game is the spec. Frankly, the hardware is so different in its capabilities that I can't think of any value I would have had getting in touch with anybody at Nintendo. It's like talking to the guy who created the Porsche Carrera about making a bicycle. I mean, it's like, there's not a lot there. Not a lot you're going to tell me. Here's this masterpiece and do it on this toaster, you know. It's and I was young enough and stupid enough to not be intimidated. And I wasn't, because I was just a kid. I was like, no big deal.
That is neat. Yeah, I remember playing I'm pretty sure I played the 2600 version of Donkey Kong. That's funny. Outlaw. You know, it's funny. I don't think I played this version. Oh, who'd gone to co-found Activision. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. Let's play Outlaw. I don't think I played this. Oh, that's neat. You can choose the different modes. Okay. Oh, that's cute. We'll stick with level 1. Play game. I don't think I played this on the original, like, originally. That's cute. I don't know if I had this. But man, are these graphics primitive. But it's like the Wild West. It's pretty simple. It's cute. Shares a lot with Pong, actually, if you think about it. Cute. Very cute. And Canyon Bomber. I don't know if I played this one or not. But let's try it. Oh yeah, I played this. I had to have. This looks way too familiar. Oops. Okay, so I'm playing against the computer, aren't I? I don't know which one's me. I guess it's the yellow one. Oh, this is funny. I think the computer's gonna win. Oh, man. Oh, I can't bomb the other plane. Sad. I think you just keep going until it's clear, I think, right? Come on! Let's get those things. Oh, that's the end. Looks like he won, and that's it. These games are so simple. That's cute. Alright, well, now that we went through that, let's go through, let's just, you know, we got to look at some of these other ones, right? So let's take a look at highs and lows. I'm guessing the 5200 and the 20 and the 7000 are going to be in here, but we'll find out. I was about to start for the market, so that maybe get everyone against weight. Some of the best games for the 27 released during these years, huh? Okay, we already know about this. This is the cheaper version of it. The wood one is way better. Sorry, the wood is just way better. All right, a Crossroads console cycle. Yeah, this is true. The Atari 2600 was the first. They never realized that consoles wouldn't last forever. Oops. Okay, so then they had... The Intellivision was a competitor with a 16-bit processor. Ooh. By 81, the Intellivision had sold over 1 million units. The first console war had begun. Huh. And then the Atari Age. The Atari Club, a customer loyalty program that players could join to start products at discounted prices. Well, that's neat. Huh. Very interesting. And then we got Demons of Diamonds was... Oh, this must have been one of the late 2600 game? Interesting. Preteen players, huh? That's funny. I don't think I ever played this, so let's check it out. Oh, this is weird. Oh, this is weird. It's fast. It must have been a paddle game. Oh, this game is awkward. Oh, I got the diamond. The only reason I know that's what that is because of Atari Mania, that it had a level of Demons to Diamonds. This game is super awkward. Oh, it does support mouse. But I don't know why mouse clicking isn't working, so I'll have to play with the controls, but... Huh, wow, okay. That is so primitive. Oh my goodness, okay. 2 new great Atari games, Math Grand Prix and Demons to Diamonds. Real Sports. Cute. Sword. I don't think I've ever played Sword Quest. Is this where you get into 5200? Yes. Finally, it's next generation against what they call 5200. It's roughly limited to that of the 400 and 800 home computers. Okay, they're similar. Use the awning. Okay. So now we get to see the controller. This was a disaster. This controller. Was its analog control stick. This game played more friendly to controls of the game. It was the stick did not automatically center itself like on modern console sticks. It was much less fun to use. Right. So imagine an analog stick like this that moved to the corner and stayed there when you let go. That would be bad. And those rubber buttons were also terrible. The trackball. Now that's cool. Now that is probably a really cool controller. I think trackballs are really neat for some games. Like Missile Command Centipede, yeah, that'd be great. And then it's got the buttons, and it's got the number pad, which is silly. Here we go. I guess this is probably worth watching. Let's check this one out.
The 5200 was a tragedy. The 5200 was a good idea gone horribly wrong.
The big problem that we had at Atari, the thing that killed the industry more than any other one thing, even more possibly than the E.T. video game, is that it was the first product life cycle. No one had ever been through a major success video game console life cycle. So where does it end? Nowadays, when somebody comes out with a new system, they already are designing the next system because they know the life of a system. They know a console is good for a certain number of years, and then it's going to die, it's going to fall off, and that's when we need to be ready and prepared to come in with a new system. Holy crap, you know, our first machine is finally falling off the cliff. We need something. We have something. We can take the 400, 800 computer, repackages the 5200, and spit it out, and we can do it.
So the 5200 was basically what the 400, 800 was going to be 3 years before. It's a tough business. Business is cruel. And you know, like I say, I'll say it again, it was the first time anything was being done. No one knew.
And what happened was the Atari 5200, it grew very large because marketing wanted perceived value, so bigger was better in some respects. And then marketing got really focused on the Intellivision, and Intellivisions had a bunch of buttons. They had a keypad, and they had this disc with 12 distinct regions. And so, hey, if we put an analog stick here, and one that doesn't self-center was the great idea, this will be a better marketing message than the Intellivision controller. And of course, it was a horrible experience. The company lost focus on what was important, and it was gameplay's important. You know, good games sell, bad games don't. If you've got a bad control mechanism, doesn't matter how good the graphics are. It's not going to be fun to play.
Now what do you do? So, and that was the thing. Engineering we really wanted to do something cool, right? We wanted to do like a real next generation because the 400, 800 was already last generation.
The engineering team and the creative team, the game designers, we were so upset, and we all felt that we were making a wrong decision with this controller, that we put together a petition to upper management, and we just explained that, you know, this is a great product, the control is lacking, we've got some other alternatives we want you to see, and my name's number 3 on the list of the petitioners.
See, I wasn't someone who signed petitions so much as talked to people behind the scenes, because I always felt that was more like the way you operate in a corporation. And but I definitely put the word out whenever I could that, like, you know, this is something we either should have done a few years ago or, you know, can't really do now.
We told marketing, hey, we could make this 2600 compatible. They didn't want anything to do with that. They said they must be very separate and distinct. We can't have backwards compatibility, which at the time we thought might be a great feature. It's a good way to get people that have these Atari games already and keep them on the Atari platform instead of giving them an opportunity to jump to another platform. And so we designed the product specifically so that you could never have 2600 compatibility. About 2 months before launch, they demanded 2600 compatibility. And at that time, we had to build an adapter. And then we actually had to modify consoles that were already made, the first ones, to work with this adapter.
Oh, wow.
And we called this thing the piggyback parasite. We were just horribly embarrassed by that situation. That never should have happened.
There was some big time denial, you know, around Atari, because nobody wants their parade rained on. And when it's the best parade you've ever imagined in your life, nobody wants to see a cloud. You just don't want to see it. So we didn't.
Wow, that was a crazy bad idea. Wow. Well, let's check out a game. Let's see how much different it looked. So I think we'll go with Super Breakout. Why not? Oh, each 52 came with it. It was slightly better. It was not amazingly better. It was slightly better. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, it looks better, but it's still Breakout. This supports paddle? Yes, good. Mouse, not technically paddle. But yeah, Breakout is cool. I mean, Breakout was great, but this has more frames of animation than the original Breakout, but it's not really a good way to demo a new system, is it? No, it really isn't. Let's see if any of these other ones are any more interesting. Missile Command. Now, it was a direct port of the 4800 computer version. Okay. But it was a newer version. That makes sense. Play. All right. Let's see how this Missile Command looks. Can I use my mouse? Were they that good? Okay, I can use my mouse on this. But the mouse buttons don't work. I have to use the... Alright, well this is definitely better looking than the 2600 one, but... okay. But it is Missile Command, which is... I mean, Missile Command's fun. It shows you how many bolts you have left. Very nice. And how many... Yep, this is Missile Command. Yep. Yeah. Missile Command is like one of those games that is both timeless and not timeless. It's a game design that has not been repeated for a reason, because it's too simple. It's cool, it's fun, but it's like you can't do much with it. So yeah, it's neat. All right, well, I think that's enough of that game. Let's see this other one here, Star Raiders. It's considered the killer app for 5200. Oh, it's considered the killer app for Atari's line of computers, but the 5200 version is considered the definitive one. Oh, neat. I can't say I've ever played this. Or maybe I have. I don't know. Let's find out. How is Star Raiders? Oh, wow. That's got music. Is this for real? On a 5200. This sounds too good to be real. Okay. Hold R for view selector. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, wow. Attack computer on. Oh, that's interesting. It's computer tracking on. Oh, wow. Okay. So because the 5200 had so many buttons, there's a lot to this. Oh, wow. Okay. Galactic. Oh, my goodness. Oh, there's somebody to fight. Or wait, warp engine's engaged. Oh, wow. Okay. Red alert. Now I got a guy to shoot at. Oh, wow. This is really interesting. Early space combat. How can I hit this guy? Does he show up on the screen, or how does this work? How do I find him? This is really weird. How do I find this guy? Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, wait, there he is. Wait. Oh, this is crazy. Yeah, this is actually like, this is intense. Wow. That is intense. I can see why that would be what... That's really advanced for that system. I can totally see why. Neat. Alright. So that's the 5200. And then some... Why is Centipede... Why is this considered... Oh, I guess this would just be a high, wouldn't it? Because Centipede... Atari released a home version of its Smash Arcade hit Centipede in early '83. 2600 is an excellent example of how a game could still be displayed down its barest and still be exciting to play. Yeah, Centipede for 2600 is fun. I had this game. I really liked it quite a bit. Oh, children's version. That's funny. Yeah, this is like really basic, but still awesome. Because like it says, it takes the basics of the arcade and it's still fun to play. And I just died. Now Centipede's... Ow. Is it mouse control or no? No. But yeah, this game is legitimately fun. I don't think this one's paddle. I died. This was one of the better 2600 games. I enjoyed Centipede quite a bit. That was the one I played probably more than any of them. Sword Quest never really got into. Quad Run, I can't say. Oh, that's neat. It was released exclusively through mail order Atari Club. Oh, wow. The crash. Yep. The crash. Final game would have been called Saboteur. Oh, wow. Gravatar is hard. Yeah, this is interesting. Alright. Well, there's a lot to look at here. And the Atari 7800. Alright, since my wife... 27 Junior, yeah, that's silly. My wife had it at 7800, so I want to read about... I want to see about this. Originally 84. Oh, wow. Oh boy. Induce links outline against fully compatible with 2600 cartridges. Okay. The controller was a tragedy again. Originally designed as an upgraded 2600 controller. Cheryl said these things would break like crazy. The joypad only sold in Europe. Oh wow. A small joystick could be screwed into the center. That's funny. It reminds me of the old Gravis gamepad. Anybody else remember those? They had that same feature. That's too funny. With the screwing into the center. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. And then Centipede. 7800 version of Centipede. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, these are just old games being repackaged for, at that time, modern systems. It's not gonna fly, but it's cool. I mean, okay, what are the controls on this version? Okay, so it's triggered. Okay. Oh, we got the teleporter button. Now where am I? There we go. Yes, asteroids are great, but this version of asteroids? Yes, it is weird looking, isn't it? Well, this is the 7800 version of asteroids, not the arcade original. I will say this is probably more, the sound effects are what's strangest about this version, though. It's not even, I mean, yeah, it looks weird, sure, but the sound effects are odd. Oh. That is something else. 7800 version of Centipede. Let's see what this one's like. But yeah, I agree with their concern that unique features, huh? Huh. 2 players can play simultaneously. Oh, wrong button. Alright, how do I start? There we go. Okay. Oh, so I can go up a little bit like the arcade. Okay. Neat. So it's a more advanced version of Centipede, sure. Yeah. So you had a 7800, Jarvis? I never knew anybody other than my wife that had a 7800. Did you have a 7800, Jarvis? Oh, but the game looks familiar. Okay. Well, Centipede was on 2600. It was in the arcades. It was on a whole bunch of systems. So I'm curious what version you played first. Huh. Very interesting. 2600 Junior. I didn't understand the point. So Tony just took bandsaw and started cutting away plastic away. Then we hacked the different pieces together and glued some other together and said, look, we can cut the size of this product by 2/3. That's funny. I mean, it's the same system. Oh, but they made newer versions of the game. Okay. So this is the most advanced 2600 game, huh? Let's check it out. Solaris. Oh, wow. Yeah, that looks good for a 2600 game. Holy moly. Yeah, this is really advanced for a 2600 game. Holy moly is right. Okay, what in the world is happening? Oh, I can even look up and down. Alright, let's find a bad guy. Oh, this is a trip. Oh, it's a bad guy to shoot. Oh, look at that. Ha That was cool. Yeah, this is so advanced for a 2600 game. This is amazing. I can't say I ever played this. Alright, well there he is. There's our bad guy. But yeah, I can totally Huh! Was that supposed to be a Close Encounters thing, or what? This game is a trip. This really is wild. I wonder how many kilobytes this game was. Oh, look at all those bad guys. Okay. Huh. This game is wild. For a 2600 game, it is really advanced. I just can't believe it came out after Mario Brothers. Like, can you imagine somebody buying this after Mario Brothers came out? Or Super Mario Brothers came out? But it's not bad. It's actually kind of fun. But I still wouldn't pick it over Super Mario Brothers. I mean, really. But wow, this is intense. Almost out of fuel, I don't know how to get more, but this is a crazy boss. Wow. Oh, I get to continue. Where's my bad guy? Whatever that ore is down there. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't even know what that is. Okay. Huh. Maybe that's Origin, maybe? I don't know. This is cool, but I think I want to get to other things. But this game is definitely... the most advanced... a very advanced game. That is really, really neat. Huh. Sorry, after crash. Neat. Alright, the dawn of PCs. Let's see what this is like. I know we've got some 800 and fans in the audience here. So let's see what this is like. So this is in 79. Okay. Personal computer. The 400, 800, 499 and 899 and 999. These are considered to be low-cost machines. One key selling point was that they could be connected to standard TV, not a monitor. Huh. Man. Yeah. So this was the 400. That keyboard looks horrid. The mono panel membrane keyboard, which is lower cost and could better survive a drink being dropped on top of it. It's a low price, low ground, twice as many sales as the 800. So you have the 400? Okay. And this is the 800. That has a real keyboard. Also got a second cartridge slot. Output for a monitor instead of a TV and the ability to upgrade its built-in RAM. So you had both. Okay. With extra modules sold separately. Interesting. So this is the equipment with its horrid keyboard. And Allison. Okay. Okay, let's check out Allison.
Terrific. How do you keep track of your customers?
My Atari 400 home computer. Excuse me, Dad.
Why Atari?
Shopped around. It's a lot of computing capability for such a low price.
You use it a lot?
Sure, life's not all fun and games. There's homework, I even program. Atari has lots of software, not all the others do. And of course, only Atari has games like Centipede.
Games?
Well, we executives have to unwind.
Atari home computers. Only Atari puts so much in it for you.
Okay, that is legitimately a cool commercial. And let's see what the 800 looks like. 65 T-Bone microprocessor, 1.8 megahertz. Wow. That is a disk drive you can get. They use 5.25-inch discs. Neat. Father and son, huh? That guy needs thicker glasses.
An Atari 800 home computer. Nothing but the best for my son. Why Atari? Atari makes computers that, you know, seem friendly, part of the family.
Want to show off?
Sure, they're real easy. Terrific software, huh?
Nice graphics.
And how do you like this for sound capability?
Impressive.
It sure is.
So what's his first project?
Soon, the alphabet. A is for airplane.
Atari home
Oh, man.
Only Atari puts so much in it for you.
Oh my goodness. That's cute. The first gaming PC. Suit our game consoles. I mean, obviously. That makes sense to me. Let's see what this one's like.
I think the Atari 400, 800 were really the first home computers that I felt like were designed to be in somebody's home and for an average person to utilize.
Atari, you know, made some interesting decisions over the years. I mean, they were #1 in the world in making video games, but they saw home computers were coming. And Apple II was out, and they said, we got to compete with Apple for, you know, computers. So it came down from on high that we were going to make a computer like the Apple II, but better in some way. But the engineering department said, hey, we're video game people. Why are we doing this? But they were told, you will do this. So what actually happened was the engineers made the Atari 800 into the next best video game player. It had all the sprite capability. It had co-processors in there. You know, the first GPU in a computer was probably in
First
the Atari
GPU?
800.
Wow.
All of this stuff was going on in the engineering department, and yet the management thought we were making a computer. We were really just making a video game that we could make cool games on.
My participation was mainly on the prototype pre-production side. We had this very sophisticated, allegedly sophisticated, internal interactive test system called the PIT system that we couldn't get a single unit to pass. Labor Day 1979, can you guys work overtime over the weekend? We need to hand build some production units because we need to put them complete through the entire process. They need to be completely finished, consumer product in the box. We need these for JCPenney's so that they can make the holiday catalog. So we worked, I actually didn't leave Atari for about 3 days, hand building these units. And it was like 4 400s and 4 800s to ship on Monday to JCPenney's. They received them at their warehouse. They took pictures of them for the catalog, and then they immediately shipped them back to us. That was it. That's what we needed to do to get this product out.
My main contribution to the Atari 800 operating system, I created a language similar to PostScript that could draw lines and squares and circles and vector graphics drawn into the bitmap of the Atari 800 and put them into the operating system so that I didn't have to put it in any of my games. So I could borrow from the operating system stuff that I'd put in there and use it when making games.
That's smart.
So yes, we were tasked with working on the operating system, but we did it our way. We did it in the video game method.
The idea came up that maybe I could get one of these machines for Christmas, and I thought I was going to get an Apple II because that was what I had at school and what I thought was cool. But I got an Atari, and it was an Atari 800 with a tape cassette drive. And
Cassette drive, nice.
You know, at first I was like, oh, it's not an Apple, but you know, it's my own computer. It's super exciting. And then the more I got into it, you know, the more I realized it was so much better than the Apple. Probably piss off some Apple people, but it, you know, it was really an amazing machine. I mean, the graphics and sound on it were incredible, and it was a super fun machine to program. And so that was really what got me started.
Nice. That is really neat. And so this is Star Raiders on the 800. Oh, the Atari 830. It had a modem. That's awesome. You could have bulletin boards. Oh, that's too funny. So this was the killer app of the Atari 800, huh? All right, let's check it out. This did look a lot better than the 2600, that's for sure. So this music has to be added. I'm sorry, guys. There's no way it sounds like that. Okay. Oh, so this is similar to that other game. Okay. The 52, the one I played on 5200. Okay. Okay, cool. I think I'm good, but that is neat. All right. Oh, you can play the slightly improved 5200 and just same game. Okay. All right. Neat. Very neat. Very neat. All right, because we are near the end of this stream, I think. I usually don't even go this long. I'm going to take a look at, we're going to go take a look at the 90s and beyond. And look at the failures. Ish. I think that's good stuff, too. Hurricane's roaring back. Okay. Deadly Felines leads Atari's chart into a new decade as it introduces the first handheld platform with the first CD-ROM. Meanwhile, the 2600 keeps going and going. Back to the roots. Looking at how the PC market was evolving, will be able to compete in IBM compatible market is refocused on its strength video games. It makes sense to me. Let's go back to the roots. Let's do at least one more game system. Okay. So the Lynx. This thing was crazy. $180 was more than twice the price of the Game Boy. That was one of its failures. Was the price. The first portable game machine with a color LCD display. Just flip it over, hit the buttons on the left hand and the directional panel on the right. Yep, it was ambidextrous. It was ambidextrous. Yep, that's what I said earlier. Oh my goodness, that was a crazy system. The underappreciated handheld. I'd give it that. Let's watch this.
There were so many things near the end of my early days with Atari that I wished, like everything we felt was underappreciated. Like I bought a Lynx and I was trying to find people to play the Lynx with me and everyone else had a Game Boy. And I was like, you guys, Todd's Slime World, let's do this, let's play Warbirds, come on.
And the Lynx was totally Sam's baby. He loved the notion of the hardware. And Sam, man, he loved the Lynx into the ground, right? You know, against all odds, he wanted to make it successful. You know, we did the original one that was sort of the original design, and then he was like, no, we got to double down on it and do it and make it better.
Being in the Bay Area, you see these ads, come test video games. So I think I tried out at a few places. Electronic Arts comes to mind. Didn't get the job there, but was lucky enough to kind of get the QA job at Atari. Back in the day, I think it was a lot more fun. People playing 4 Lynx games and then having them all go out of sync and then having to track that down. Like, probably at the 1,000th time that happens, it does get a little old. But I think back in the day, you actually got a lot more input into the games. So a lot of the last Lynx games like Lemmings and some of the early Jaguar games like Cybermorph, the QA department actually got a lot of input into those games from a design perspective. You know what? I think the Lynx was great hardware. I like the fact that it was color. And I think the fact that you could have this like 4-way local multiplayer was great.
20-some years later, here I am buying a Lynx with a RGB output because people are still modding them, you know, and selling them on eBay and stuff, right?
That's neat. It was a cool machine, even if it didn't do that well in the market. It was neat. It is neat. It was neat. Like I said, I appreciated it when I got to play it that one time at the mall. It was a very memorable moment for me. The fact that I still remember it should say something. Game's over, Game Boy. Funny. That's cute. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, the Lynx was cool. Oh, this is the 7800 game? Oh, okay. Oh, most notorious. Okay. Well, have you had ninjas and playing golf? That's funny. There are no Lynx games to play, are there? That would be that's unfortunate. That's funny. So there are a bunch of 2690. Well, the final release 2600. 32 kilobytes of memory, 16 times the size of the VCS launch game Combat. Buddy. Wow. Atari Lynx redesigned, the smaller one. Yep. Neat. Turbo sub, huh? Oh wait, is this a Lynx game? Alright, let's play a Lynx game. I gotta try out a Lynx game. I haven't played one since, well, the 90s. Late 80s. Okay, well that's cool. Alright, let's check it out. Oh, this is neat. Wow, this is well done. Okay. Man, these graphics really aren't bad, all things considered. I mean, this is almost Nintendo level. Almost. Like NES, I mean. Not quite, but close. This is cool! What's the other button do? Okay, it must be a bomb of some kind. Dive. How do I dive? I don't know the buttons to dive. Cute. That is cool. And the Lynx was cool. Alright. Lynx props, tries drops again. Wow. And the Jaguar. Last but not least. World 64-bit, which is not true. It was dual 32, but still. And was that expensive? Oh, this thing was so cool. The marketing about this thing was amazing. That controller. That controller was ridiculous. Oh, I know too. I wanted a Jaguar too. They were so well hyped. I mean, and they were neat. But yeah, I never got one. It's powered by 232-bit processor nicknamed Tom and Jerry. That's right. Jaguar CPU and Jaguar DSP. Nice. Living the Jaguar life. Oh man. All right, let's play one game. I guess it'll be Cybermorph, and then we'll call it for tonight. Oh, the overlay for the number pad. That's interesting. All right, let's give this a shot. Oh, packed in with every Jaguar with Cybermorph. Okay, Polygon 3D shooter. Okay, let's play it. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, you can choose your planet. Huh, we'll start with this, I guess. Use the speed of the T-Griffin to round up all supply pods laying abandoned in the valleys. Avoid kamikaze patrols. They ram you when you get near them.
Good luck.
Oh, it had its PC. Okay, I don't know how to go forward yet. How do I go forward? Okay, so it's the R button. Okay. Oh, this was so advanced back then. Avoid the ground. Ouch. Ouch. Hilarious.
Where did you learn to fly? Avoid the ground.
Oh, that's funny. Man, this thing had sass. Hilarious. Still don't know what I'm doing. I mean...
Avoid the ground.
This was pretty advanced back then. These graphics really weren't bad for the era. If you compare this to like, this would have been what year would this have been? 93? Compare it. Whoops, I didn't mean to change the volume. Apparently I just did. Compare this to Star Fox. This has way better frame rate. Much more interesting, you know. Well, I wouldn't say the game is more fun. That's not the case. But there's a lot happening. And I just crashed and glass broke and everything. Hilarious. Okay, I actually don't know what I'm doing for the most part.
Avoid the ground.
But technically advanced, this definitely is in comparison to most games of that era.
Where did you learn to fly?
I am terrible at this game. Holy moly. Ouch. Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining me, Skeeter. Okay. Oh yeah, that head. Yeah, that's funny. Well done, huh? Wow, look at me. And I crashed. Am I out of lives? Yep, game over. Apparently I would have been pretty bad at Cybermorph. All-time best scores. I am not listed. Whoa. That's pretty cool. I'd have to read the instruction manual and mess with the controls, but... 95, okay. No, 93, yeah, that's Cybermorph Battlemorph is the sequel. Okay. Yeah, that's really, like... funny. Yeah. Chewing up the competition. That's so funny. I think I've seen this ad. I'm almost positive I've seen this ad. Funny. Wow. I'm pretty sure I saw this ad as well. Oh, Tempest 2000. All right. This is going to be our last game. You got to play Tempest 2000. That's just like this is important. This is a classic. Tempest 2000 is one of the most important, like one of the developed by Lamasoft. Nice. This is one of the most sought after cartridges on Jaguar. Oh, that's interesting. Select game to play: Tempest 2000, traditional, Tempest Plus, or dual. Oh, there's different versions of it. Oh, this is crazy. All right. Yeah, we'll start with the first level. Does the mouse work? I need to know. I don't think they added that, did they? Oh yeah, Tempest! This is wild. Tempest 4000 is on Steam. I reviewed it. It's good, but made by the same people. That's the crazy bit. The same dude who made this game made Tempest 4000. Or do you mean, maybe you mean this Atari 50th? Well, hey, President Snow, thanks for joining us. Yeah, this is really a very interesting collection. It's I wouldn't say it's not. This isn't just a game collection. It's that, but it's not just that. This game is, or this Atari 50th is really a love letter to Atari, and over the decades. I think everybody who has been. This is wild. This is so wild. Yeah, if you guys like this, you'd probably also like Tempest 4000 on Steam. But yeah, this is really cool. Alright. This was on the Jaguar. You know, I have a funny story with Tempest. I never played Tempest for years. But I had a player's guide for Tempest. The original arcade game. I don't even know where I got it. Was it a garage sale or what? But it had like this gaming guide of how to win. You know, like back before these were common. And there was no internet, right? It was not. You think this is crazy? Tempest 4000 is even more intense. This is nothing compared to Tempest 4000. But yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah, I think I streamed Tempest 4000 several years ago. I'm not 100% sure. I know I reviewed it, though. Feel free to check out ChristCenterGamer.com if you want to see Tempest 4000. It's also on Steam as far as I remember. But yeah, this is neat. I wish that it had paddle controls, though. This is cool, guys. This is cool. Okay. Tempest 2000. What a great game that they included it. Oh, look at all these Jaguar games. The price drop. Or move to packet Cybermorph. Okay. And then the Jaguar CD. It always planned to release CD upgrade. It was eventually released. But it was way too expensive. Oh man. Back in the 90s and those the Sega CD, the Jaguar CD, and the SNES CD, which never happened. Man. Oh, Super Asteroid Massive Command for Lynx. The final game that Atari released for the Lynx. Oh, that is really cool. Huh. Oh, the Pro Controller. That's hilarious. They added more buttons. I like 6 space buttons. I think more controllers needed 6 space buttons. It's too bad that never took off. Pinball. Oh, neat. You gotta be kidding. Oh, wow. VR. Old school Gen 1 VR. That's hilarious. Yeah, Snow, I totally agree. This is one of the reasons that I wish that we had... Oh, that's funny. Yeah. You know, Centipede isn't quite as bad. Trackball is definitely better. A mouse is okay. Thankfully, many of these support that. But, yeah. Not supporting paddle, I agree. It's just rough. Thankfully, I think these arcade versions are enhanced. And they might support... See, there's some cool games in here. Like, I never played Black Widow. Centipede. I don't know if Centipede supports a mouse. Let me see. Let's see if it does. I don't really know the controls on the keyboard. Oh, it does support a mouse. There you go. So you can play this on the with a mouse. So you can get a PC trackball and play it on a trackball if you like. So there you go. This collection supports that. So that's not too bad. Alright, so that's good. That answers your question, hopefully, Mr. Snow. Let us see if we've got Tempest in the arcade form. Is Tempest in arcade form? Tempest. Alright. So let's play this here. What is the insert coins button? What is my insert coins button? Insert coins. Okay. It supports on a mouse controls. It does. So you can get simulator, very good simulated, you can get spinners and you can simulate with a mouse. This is very, very similar to a proper paddle. Alright, so Tempest does work with a mouse. This is great. This is great. It's actually one of the frustrating things about Tempest 4000 is that the PC version does not support a mouse, and it's like, why? But this does. Oh, he got me! Sweet. So now we know that we can play the original Tempest with a mouse. Awesome. So I hope that answers your other concern, Mr. Snow. El Presidente Snow, that you can play Tempest, the original Tempest, with a mouse. And to me, that goes pretty far. Awesome. Well, now we know that difficult question is answered. Mouse control works. That's awesome. All right. Now, let's see if anything else important supports mouse control. Now, 2600 games I don't expect to, so I'm not even going to try. Oh, reimagined! Guys, they added new versions of these games. They reimagined 7 games. Now, what I want to know is, I just reviewed Yar's Revenge, or Yar's Recharged. It's a reimagined, modern Yar's game. It's really good. Yar's Revenge Enhanced is another remake of Yar's. Let's see what it's like. Modern visuals and driving soundtrack. Okay. Oh, that looks awesome. Okay. This does not use... Okay, this is keyboard, so I'm going to use the controller instead. This is interesting! Oh my, is that pretty. Oh, is this pretty. Holy moly. Oh, is this pretty. Oh my goodness. Yar's Recharge is my favorite. Hands down. You know, Centipede... I'm sorry, I was looking at your text instead of my own gameplay. I have not played Centipede Recharged. That's... They sent us to review most of them since release since last year, but not before then. Or earlier this year, actually. So I have not played the original 3, except for Missile Command, where they re-released it recently. But yeah. Oh. Well, this is interesting. Huh. Well, yeah, I haven't played Centipede. I want to. Maybe I'll just break down and buy it someday. But, yeah. How am I supposed to get... I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Oh. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. Okay. So I have to go in there. But I'm not hitting him. Okay. Oh, come on. He's hard to hit for some reason. Oh, I can go up and down. Well, that's kind of cool. Got him. Nice. Okay, this is an interesting... This is much more faithful to the original. Whoa! Yar's Remastered, or Yar's Recharged is really fun. But it's definitely a different game than the original Yar's. So this is neat. Oh! This is also quite a bit more difficult. Okay, so these are the reimagined. Interesting. I haven't played the original on this one, so I don't want to play the reimagined until I play the original. I'm not sure what this is. Oh. Never mind, this will be okay. It's a remixed twin-stick shooter that honors based on Asteroids, Lunar Lander, and Tempest. Okay, well, let's try it. So it's just supposed to be vector shooter. Okay. Okay. Start. One player. Yeah. So it's twin stick. Oh, but a button is shield. Okay. Okay. This is cool. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. I've never okay. This is all. What just happened? What am I supposed to do? I don't know what I'm trying to do. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I hate that. I like to know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But this is cool regardless. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, this is awesome. This is so neat. Alright, what is this? LED handheld game? Atari's original Touch Me is an audio-only fatherly arcade game. Oh, wow. Neat. Sword Quest. I never played the original, so we'll come back to that at my own time. Quadra Tank? Is this meant to be combat? Yep. Combat. Alright, let's see what a newer version... Okay, that's... Okay. Oh, I have to get other players? One AI tank. Let's do that. Alright.
Get ready.
Oh, I'm playing... Alright, what am I doing wrong? Why am I turning? Oh, it uses weird controls. Alright, something is funkazoided with this control scheme.
Range.
I'm walking in circles. Why?
Speed. Speed.
Oh, I get it! Use... Okay. You have to use both analog sticks, and each one of them is a tank tread. I don't know how to aim my... Oh, with the... Okay. This is wild.
Range.
This is wild. Okay. It's hard to explain.
Rocket speed. Laser.
This is cute. Okay.
Laser.
Yes, they are. So basically, left tread, right tread, and press forward on both to go forward. And then you use the bumpers to change the angle of your firing, and then trigger to shoot. It's
Health.
wacky, but
Range.
think of it like, well, it's combat. So yeah, kind of wild.
Shot.
Kind of wild.
Shot.
Oh, I got his upgrades now?
Rocket shot. Health. Range. Speed. Shot.
Oh, wow.
Speed. Laser. Speed.
Oh, this is wild.
Laser.
This is so crazy.
Range. Shot.
This is so crazy.
Rocket.
Oh my goodness, it's so getting so weird. Is there more than one button I can use? I don't know. Oh, this is so crazy.
Speed.
Wow, okay. Well, that's the new version of combat, Quadratank, a Neo Breakout. There is a Breakout Recharged, so this might be a little redundant. Breakout Recharge is actually really fun. I like it. But, you know. Support mouse, it does support mouse. Okay. So this is basically Breakout. Well, I just missed. That was wild. I'm guessing there's no power-ups. I mean, why would there be, right? Arkanoid had the power-ups and you know, there were some interesting power-ups in Breakout Recharged. So this is not really souped up other than just modernized and looks better. Okay. All right. That makes sense. I mean, it is called Breakout. It's not... Oh, wait. It's got faster. Back. I liked... Breakout, I think, might have been my first Recharged. I liked it. It's good. I like it. I just wanted to see what this other Battle Breakout is all about. One player versus CPU. Easy, sure. Oh, it's like Pong with walls. That's neat. And that's something that's different than the Recharged game. Ah! Oh, that's cute. So can you break through the wall or not? I don't think you can. I think I'm messing up. Oh, you give them bricks when you hit it. I see. Okay, well that's cute. That's cute. All right, I like it. I like it. And Haunted House. I don't know a whole lot about. Cute. I don't know anything about the originals really, so I'd have to spend some time with it. All right, well. All right. This collection is really awesome. I don't normally just come out and say that at the end of a stream like this. This collection, it's more than a collection. It really is, like they call it, a celebration. Where you learn about the history, where, you know, of Atari and of their highs and lows and the PCs and the 90s era and what they've become today to an extent. You know, now they're more of a game developer, which is fine. It's great. Makes sense in this modern era, but this is really cool. I really like this quite a bit. And if you're an Atari lover, yeah, there's a lot of games on the Atari. You mentioned, Snow, that you couldn't understand a Haunted House. There's a lot of games on the old Atari that were like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I may have had a copy of Yars. I don't know that I did, but I might have. Now that I'm an adult and I played the remastered versions, you know, the updated one, like Yars Revenge or Yars Recharged, I went back and played the 27 version. I got to, oh, okay, I know how to play this now. But as a kid, I'm like, what in the world is happening? I have no idea how to win the level. So yes, I totally understand that a lot of Atari games back in the day, they had basically no instructions. If you didn't have the manual, the paper manual, you had to figure it out. And sometimes it was difficult to figure out those games. Like, you did, I don't know what's happening. Do you know what's happening? No. Okay, next game then. I can understand combat. I can understand air-sea battle. I push buttons, something goes shoot. Bump and jump, huh? I don't know if I had... Bump and jump. I wonder if it's in here or not. Some of those games are made by different developers and they didn't have them. I don't see it in 2600. No, I don't think it's in here, unfortunately. It's not looking like it. Sorry, man. But yeah, there were a lot of games that were really, really hard to understand. Oh, okay. Well, it's not an Atari original. Totally makes sense. Yeah, like for example, I remember playing Chuck Norris on Atari 2600. It was one of the more advanced games on it. It was kind of cool. You pressed up and punch to punch, and down and punch to kick. And you had like the guy just like moving around on the screen, and you had to punch the bad guy and kick the bad guy, and it was totally crazy. And it was pretty advanced for a 2600 game. But it was, it was hard. It was very difficult. There were a lot of ways, but that was half the fun, is just figuring out what am I supposed to do. That's just the way it was. All right, well, I've been playing this for almost 2 hours, longer than I anticipated. So I think this is going to be a great time to call it a night. But yeah, this is a really cool collection. Better than I expected in many ways. And I can't wait to go through this all and get 100% on my exploration, just to really immerse myself in the history of Atari. This is really neat. Take care, guys. God bless, and have a wonderful night.